first, and the rest of the hair I'm just going to tie it in the back so that it's out of my way and out of my face. So these are the layers that are going to be framing our face. That's why we're going to work on it first. And the first thing I'm going to do is create a guide. This is going to be the guide that we're going to be using. To cut the rest of our hair. So I'm going to separate a little bit of hair from the top and take it all the way up and hold it tightly, and then we're going to start cutting. Now we're going to cut in a straight line, and I know that looks like a lot of hair, that looks kind of scary, but point cut upwards, and I promise you it's going to turn out so pretty. And we're going to be using this guide now to cut the rest of the hair. So take a little bit of that and then mix it in with one side of the hair, and I'm going to take that side of the hair and bring it up and diagonal. We're not going to bring it all the way up, we're going to make it like a little bit of diagonal, and I'm going to use my comb so that everything is straight, and you're going to see the guide sticking out right there. So we're going to be cutting the hair according to the guide. So cut where your guide is. And point cut upwards. I know that looks like a lot of hair, but I promise it's going to turn out really pretty. And see, as you can see right there, you actually really do get to keep your length, and your layers just come out really feathered and beautiful and blended. And we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Brush the hairs up and diagonal, and you're going to see your guide right there sticking out. That's where you're going to cut. And we're going to cut off all of that dead hair and recreate our layers. So the reason why we're point cutting is because it just helps the layers to blend more easily, and it doesn't give you that choppy blunt look. So as you can see here, everything just came out really even, and we're going to start working on the rest of our hair. I'm going to part it down the middle and bring it to the front, and I'm going to be working on one side at a time. The side that I'm not working on, I'm going to tie it just to keep it out of my way. And I'm going to work on this side. Now I'm going to take a chunk of my hair and mix it in with the guide. And then I'm going to brush that up and diagonal, and we're going to start cutting. Now we're going to cut this a little bit differently. So do you see the guide right there? We're going to cut an inch lower than that guide because we're creating our second layer. So cut 1 inch lower than your guide and cut all that dead hair. hair off. Like, that hair looks really dead. And point cut upwards, remember to do that so your layers are nice and blended. Now we just created our second layer, and you can see right there, everything just blended in really nicely. And then taking some of the hair that I just cut, I'm going to take the rest of the hair and brush that up, and make sure you brush the back up too, just so there's no knots or chunks that are going to be uneven. Now the second guide that we created, you can see that it's sticking out right there. We're going to cut 1 inch lower than our second guide and point cut that upwards, and that's going to be our last layer. That's going to be take the rest of the hair and brush that up, and make sure you brush the back up too, just so there's no knots or chunks that are going to be uneven. Now the second guide that we created, you can see that it's sticking out right there. We're going to cut 1 inch lower than our second guide and point cut that upwards, and that's going to be our last layer. That's going to be our third layer, and we're done with one side basically. So now we're going to do the same thing to the other side, inch below that guide. So point cut upwards, an inch below that one, and that's going to create our second layer on the other side. And then you can see the layers just, they're coming out really pretty. Any straggly pieces that you see, you can just cut those off just to make your layers even more even and blended. So just cut off any pieces that look like they don't belong there. And then here's another option, and everything comes out so even and blended and